The following podcast contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion advised.
And although we joke, if you or someone you know is affected by or a victim of domestic violence, dial 1-800-799-7233 or visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline's website, thehotline.org.
But it's always the husband, it's always the husband, it's always the husband. I don't keep bed.
Hey, this is Sarah.
And this is Megan.
And you're listening to It's Always the Husband podcast.
Welcome.
We came out a little bit later today.
Sorry.
To take 1,000 guesses, but you'd get it on the first one.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've had life-altering diarrhea for 3 days now.
What?
I know. Well,
I know.
It started
That's
with
sick.
puking.
I know. That's terrible. You were very ill looking.
2 pukes and then a lot of poops. And I don't know. Whatever, man.
When you couldn't down the booze, something was wrong.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And I knew it. And
It was sad.
manifested
It
into
did.
my toilet. So thanks for being patient. I'm still not 100%. I'm living on Imodium. And so if you just tuned in, hi.
Yes, unfortunate.
I'm sure you tuned out.
Unfortunate.
But if you actually are still listening, this is a true crime comedy podcast where we watch shows and talk about the murders and critique almost everything and everyone.
Right. Our research is little.
The bare minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bare minimum meaning zero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much 30 minutes.
a research.
of
Yeah,
our
we
lives.
watch.
Yeah.
So I guess that's research.
Ooh. Yeah. It takes us longer to find our Facebook funny than it does to do the research. So please take everything we hear with a grain of salt.
Well, while we're at it, we do have social media.
Yeah, we
if you would
do.
like to give us a 5-star rating, that helps us get noticed by people, and a review, which helps us get noticed by people. Or if you share us on your social media, send I think Instagram just, or somehow we can share episodes on our story or something now. Something like that. So we'll see how that works.
If we ever, we need to make it a little bigger so we can hire someone to do our social media and our marketing. We're just so old.
Well,
that
and
we
I
don't
also
understand
can't,
the
most of the
things.
day, I can't even have access to my devices.
Well, no, because we're working.
And they don't literally work. But we do have a Patreon where you can get exclusive episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 2 new ones, but I wonder if one re-upped. But Megan Cholak, is that, I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm sorry, Megan. But she also is big in our group.
That's how I say it in my head.
Yeah,
is
me
Cholak,
too.
But
And Amber. Amber and Megan, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We're going to try to make a cute studio where maybe we can film and see our face. I don't know. Do we want to? I don't know.
I just thought about that as I...
Because we are not. We are handsome.
Yeah. I mean, we'd have to look cute.
We would. We're handsome.
We're mulling it over.
Yeah, we are.
We need some input. Would you like us better if we were on YouTube?
Well, it's so hard to put it up there. So we'd have to find a way to... Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't know. But anyway, with our social media, we pick sometimes in our Facebook group, which you can ask to join.
It's very exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Just joking.
And there's very funny people on there that put very funny things on there, or comment on the episode, or give us answer questions we've had about the episode, which is very helpful, thank goodness. Or correct us on things, or fill in some information that we are lacking, which is also very helpful.
People love to be corrected.
Yes.
Especially us. Just joking. Help us if you know
Yes.
things. Because like we said, the research is very little.
I might have a question on this one too, I think.
Okay.
Today's. And just funny people.
Yeah.
So you can talk about the episodes, or you can just ask advice, or you can just put funny things on to brighten someone's day when they're
Right.
just stressed out or whatever. Or you're just a regular mom or wife or just a regular human trying to get through the goddamn day.
Mm-hmm.
I picked a Facebook funny. This bitch is a real cunt. And it's you.
What?
I picked that one with the guy that is trying to help the
Baby
differently abled
chicks.
chick bird. And he
Yeah.
said the bird had saddle legs.
He was trying to help the bird so that its legs weren't splayed.
It had whore leg.
It did.
And so he's trying to help the bird get stronger legs. And he says he has the bird run to him. And he's standing at his bed. And he puts a little tiny baby bird, which I don't know why you would do this at all. But he has the little bird run to him on your bedspread where the bird could just spray shit on your bedspread.
Yeah.
But the bird runs just fine.
It did. Yeah.
Runs to him. He puts it out, runs to him. But then your eye follows the bird as it's running to him and ends right on its Wah! Look at that bulge. This guy has an elephant trunk in his pants. What is he stuffing with, a zucchini? He's got a monster bulge.
He did. And
This is a monster hog he's hiding in his sweatpants.
It was
What's going on?
embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
I feel
to
like
watch.
it was too forward. This is not wide, it's front. It's front. How do you say wide forward? It's not wide to the side, it's wide to the front.
Yeah. And I don't know what to say because when I don't know how
Like if you
it
turn
came
to
up.
the side, it would look like a nose.
Yeah.
A huge nose.
I know.
How does that work? And then the nose goes all the way to the knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you don't look at the baby bird anymore, who was running just fine. I didn't see it have whore leg. And so you watch several times, you just don't know. And you said you watched the fellow's other recordings.
Well, I did. Like I said, I don't know how that came into my feed. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
would it? But what caught me was he found a tiny little egg in the midst of his eggs or whatever. And he was like, I'm going to hatch this egg. And then he like put some wax. He put it under a light or something and found a crack. And then he like nursed this chick.
Does he not have
hatch.
a fellow or a gal with that monster hog to take up his time?
I did not see any significant others anywhere in the other videos, but so that's what started it. And there was no bulge in sight in that one.
I see.
But then I was like, what's going on with this guy? And well, that was what was going on with him.
I guess.
Yes.
But I was also proud of you because you don't like birds and
No,
that
I
you
don't.
watched a bird video. I thought I was
know.
proud.
I don't know why it was a chicken. It started as a chicken, like he was in the chicken eggs and he found one of those baby
like a quail?
quail or
I
something.
don't know.
But he has them all over his house, Sarah. And
Why?
he tries to get him to follow him around.
Why?
And then in subsequent videos, we should say, what is his freaking name? Because people should try to follow it.
His name is Schwanz.
His name is Schwanz with the birds.
Yeah.
It is.
Does he feed him out of his Schwanz?
It's Fathen Farms, like FATHEN.
Fat One Farms.
Yeah, Fat Hen Farms. Is that what it is? Fat Hen or not Fathen? Oh, I bet it's Fat Hen Farms. Fat Hen Farms. He has 1.8 million followers.
Well, I bet he does.
And he is quite the arm muscle too.
Well, from jacking it,
Physique.
he's got to have a hefty arms to jack that sucker.
But I mean, there are. Oh my God! And there's shirtless video. I didn't even see these. What is this guy trying to do?
I think we know what he's trying to do.
Fat Hen Farms. Yeah, I think they're all.
He's using these infant animals to draw attention
Quail.
to his schwanz.
Babies.
And I'll ride with it.
So follow him. Oh my God, it's so big. And then in the comments, because after I was just watching it, and then somebody wrote, "So happy that leg is working again." And then one person wrote, "It waved at me first, sir." But then some people were not swayed by the bulge at all. "You take such good care of them. It's cute to watch how gentle you are with them."
I don't know what they're looking at.
And then it said, someone wrote,
These obviously aren't perverts.
"No, I'll help you strengthen your third leg."
There's someone right after us.
People were perving out. Some
I'm
people
glad.
wrote, "He's my favorite thirst trap. You go out the house with it wiggling in your pants like that, sir." Someone wrote.
There's our nasty gals.
There are some nasty gals there. So everyone's sprinting to the comments. You need to follow him. Fat Hen Farms. Not Fathom. Why did I think that? Fat Hen Farms. Wow.
Yeah, that one.
Well, thanks for picking mine.
I know. I just drew the eye.
Mine isn't so much a post as it is. I just want to give a shout out to Alicia Denza McClure, who posted about the Aussies playing that game with the the square clotheslines or whatever. But what really caught me was that she was having nocturnal diarrhea.
Oh.
And listening to us.
I know. Maybe it's a comfort.
It was. And I just felt like, hey, here I am on the other side of the world.
Also having a diarrhea.
Nocturnal diarrhea. We're kindred spirits.
Things that bring people together. If people would just stop fighting and join in diarrhea,
right,
we would have so much in common and can help each other in our diarrhea struggles.
And
why fight?
She was listening to the episode about when Nutbar was trying to get people on the playground to lose weight.
Lil Craig
episode, and we just rehashed the Lil Craig story
on her birthday.
Yeah,
she was saying something, and we said, "Well, obviously that would come from you, Lil Craig."
Lil Craig, telling us what to do,
doing her business,
telling us what to eat and how
cards
to
around the playground.
Yep.
Gosh, Lil Craig.
So shout out, Alicia. I hope you're feeling better. Or Alicia. I don't know which one it is, but either way, solidarity,
I know, my
girl.
goodness. Now, we also talk about things that get us through our week because we have jobs that really, sometimes you come home and you wonder how you survived the day because every minute is something that if someone just came in off the street, they might actually, their sanity might snap. You have to, it's something that the weak wouldn't live through.
Right.
They wouldn't live through.
Right.
Not that I live through it. My sanity has snapped. That's how I can go every day.
Yeah.
I found something.
What is it? This is your glitter in the shitter? This is the thing that gets you through?
I haven't said it yet.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Yeah. This? Oh.
No.
Oh. No. I put out my...
This podcast?
Well, this is.
No. Okay.
If only it was my job and I could...
Yeah, right?
I could... the other one. But,
yeah.
I put out my deck furniture and I don't know if that's wise or stupid yet.
I think it's great.
And Target had a 50% off on their deck furniture for one day. And there were these little rocking little chairs that were super cute. And I bought 2 of them. They're on my deck and it's called the Fisher Stack and Wicker Outdoor Rocking Patio Chair. And they're super comfortable and they kind of just rock back and forth. And I needed 2 little chairs because I have a little couch
out there.
And they're perfect.
Are you and Jamie going to just rock like old people?
They're like, iron and then like little, I don't know how to describe them, but you can look them up.
We'll put a picture on our
will,
Facebook group.
I will.
Yeah.
They're perfect and they're super comfortable. And then you could just sit out there sit out there in the sun. They were super light, so I could carry 2 of them right out.
Yeah.
But they were awesome. So if you see it, they just look like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So
they're
they're just
modern look.
Yeah. I mean, and they stack, so you can just stack them to the side. And then I bought a little puffy ottoman to put your feet up on.
And they're nice and like
just
small size.
Yeah.
So they don't take up too, like,
no,
I could
they're
put
kind of
those
streamlined.
and rock on my porch.
And then if you want to move them out of the way, they just stack or whatever.
I want those. I love to, I love to rock.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
So,
what
and
you
the
got me
rocking is
for
not
my
severe.
birthday.
It's just a little tiny rock. And then I bought little puffy ottomans and I put little yellow, bright yellow pillows on them. And you can have a little blanket and then you can sit there and read or whatever. Or booze it. Get hammed.
Yeah, on hams.
So if you go to Tierguts and see them, they're really cute. But I got them half off, so they probably do that again, I'm sure. So
this is hilarious. I just got it. I thought Phil was trying to call me, and I was like, "Why is Phil calling me?"
Yeah, why?
Because he knows I'm. Well, first of all,
why
is he?
call?
But then next, why is he calling? And I think it's Rory trying to call from the Alexa, and this is what the message transcript is: Alexa, call Dad. Alexa, call Dad's iPhone. Shh, Alexa, shut up, you. Alexa, shut up.
What is she saying to him, I wonder?
Oh, poor Rory. I hope he's okay. So my glitter in the shitter. Last week I had the pants. I hope some of you ordered them. Did you order them or no? Not
I
yet?
have not yet.
Okay, I'm getting more, but I think they are like sold out right now, kind of in certain colors, and I need the long. But they also have sweatshirts that go along with them, so I might get a sweatshirt too. But the other thing that I got from Amazon that I'm wondering why the hell I didn't ever do earlier was right before I went on vacation, I got the Amazon Basics tank top.
I've heard about them.
And it's a 2-pack. So you get 2 of them and it's like, I don't know, $14 for 2 of them. I don't know. Something just amazingly cheap.
Yeah.
They are 1,000 times better than Target.
Yeah, the Target
tops.
ones.
The Target
I'm wearing
ones,
it now. They're short. They're like belly shirts, and they're
your
shit
bras
ass.
hang through. They're too high. They're too low. They're too loose. There's not enough stretch. There's too much stretch. I've been utterly unimpressed with Target, but then that's like the only place I ever go.
I don't know.
So that's what I just keep buying. I got the 2-pack of a black and a white. I'll never wear anything again.
Oh my God.
I'm going back to get
you have
more
to do
of
that
them.
link. I'll buy those because I'm just
They
tossing all my Target ones.
Are the perfect amount of stretch. They're not super see-through. They're not too thick, not too thin. Oh my God. They're the perfect cut and feel, and I'm obsessed.
Good.
Obsessed.
Good.
In fact, I spilled
You
something
never find
on mine.
those.
I know. And I was like, on vacation. I was like, I can't let this get stained. And my mom was like, let me have it. Because my mom's like,
Yes, she's
the
a miracle
stain
worker.
getter outer of the world. Yeah.
All right, good. You'll have to post those too because
will.
I'll need 1,000.
Okay.
All right, should we start
What's
this shit
up?
show?
Yeah, let's talk about this dumbass.
So we watched a show called I Almost Got Away with It.
This guy did almost get away
He
with it.
did. If it wasn't, well, yeah.
He was stupid.
Yeah, he did stupid shit. So we watched the season 1, episode 3. It was like, Ain't Got No Fingerprints or something like that it's called. And it's stupid.
I'm sure that's what it was called.
So we're going all the way back to 1997. Again, the year where every murder took place. 1997 was murder year of the world. January 28th. And we're Alabama.
Right.
In Shelby County. I don't know where that is, but it's in Alabama.
A lot of places in the South are really all about their counties.
Yeah, they go by county. I don't know.
Nobody even knows what county they live in.
Literally
around
nobody
here.
knows what county they
No.
live in.
I knew when I was growing up because
Yeah.
my school had like 90 different schools in it, so we were called Martin County West.
Maybe because they're just a smaller town.
I don't know. But it was all about the county.
Yeah. Where we hear about a lady. Her name is Brenda Bowen.
Mm-hmm.
And they say the only thing they say about her, only thing, is that she's a mother of 2 and she's a church leader.
Yep.
I don't know anything else about her.
She's
And
like a Sunday school
I meant
teacher.
to do some outside research and then
There wasn't really a lot.
no.
And they didn't even have people come on and say, like, she was so nice. She was such a
Nothing.
good mom.
She
Like,
had one friend who
nothing.
kind of just
Yeah.
said, you know.
Oh, yeah, she did have the one
she
friend.
was at church, was busy at church. I'm like, well, okay. We get a lot of the story told by Sheriff Chris Curry. And the actor Sheriff Chris Curry wears a shit-ass Andy Griffith costume.
Yeah.
Like they got it from Party City or whatever, and it's an Andy Griffith costume.
Yeah, there were several cop costumes that I laughed out loud at.
One was terrible, ill-fitting.
When they were on the search?
Yes!
Did you laugh at that one
Because
too?
it was
Good.
for Kareem
Yeah.
Abdul-Jabbar, and a shorter man was wearing it. So Chris Curry is a 27-year veteran, so he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He said it all started when Brenda's dad, Mr. Breckenridge, who the actor playing Mr. Breckenridge looks like an unhoused individual that just rolled out from under a dumpster.
Yeah, they literally pulled them out of a Quick Trip or something.
Yes, and just said, "Sir, can you just play this role for 5 minutes?"
Yeah.
And he went, what?
Okay, can you give me some corn nuts?
Yes. And the dad calls because Brenda is missing, because Brenda was supposed to come to the house like that morning to take her mother to a doctor's appointment. She never shows up. She didn't call.
Right.
They're calling her. She's not like in a car accident or her car didn't start. They're not hearing from her at all. And that's totally unlike her.
And this is before cell phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, so that Chris Curry knows this family pretty
Yes.
well too. So he kind of knows that that's not like Brenda. That's kind of, this is weird. He knows it's a weird situation. So he wants to start on this case right away. So they go to the church. They go to where her church is, and people in the church start thinking, we're going to start looking for her right now. We're not going to waste time. We're going to look for her. And they show in the reenactment, 5 ragamuffins.
Yeah.
5 people that look like, again, they pulled them out of a midnight 7-Eleven quick trip.
They were at the gas station
Yes.
with the dad, the guy who played the dad.
And they said,
were
we'll
like,
give
"Just
you
come here."
this 5th of rum if you just stand here while we film and look concerned. Because these were the volunteers passing out some missing posters, and they were going to go search in the woods. And all of them were dressed inappropriately for a woods search.
Yeah.
Because they had just been pulled out from a gas station for rum.
They were of all ages.
Yes.
And sizes.
Yeah.
And then the police officer who was in charge of taking them on the hunt was wearing the costume for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
And he had on the worst pair of aviators that you've ever seen. They literally were from the gas station, but they were the cheap. They were like the $2.99. They didn't even spend $12.99 on these fucking glasses.
No.
They didn't even have like a metal rim around the aviator.
No.
They were like just plastic for kids.
Yeah.
And then they put the belt around. They didn't even put it in belt loops. They just put the belt around his shirt like Dorothy Spornak. He was just.
I know. It was just. No one took 5 seconds to just say, let's look at this cast of absolute lose bombs we're putting in here. And the narrator says hundreds of volunteers, and we just have 5 total ass wipes
And
in various state of undress.
And the rent-a-cop
Looking for rum.
who might also be a male stripper.
Yes. So then the narrator says, of all the hundreds of volunteers, there's one individual that is curiously absent. Brenda's ex-husband, Jerry Lee Bowen. And I thought, why the hell would her ex-husband be there anyway? I'm not going to ever search for my ex-husband. I don't give two shits.
No.
If he was missing, I would say, well, you know what? That's how it goes.
Right.
Come say, come see. Whatever shall be, shall be.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? So I thought, well, what? Who cares? But then you find out that they've been divorced for 2 years. Brenda lives in the main house, and this bitch Jerry lives in the garage.
Yes.
Bitch moved to the garage.
He lived in the garage.
Why? Why are you living in the garage? Can't you just get a normal apartment? Or
I don't know.
Come on, you move to the garage? That's not moving out.
Were they friends still? No,
Clearly not.
No, it wouldn't seem to me.
No, if my ex-husband just moved to the garage, I'd be like, bitch, this isn't cutting it.
No,
you're not moving to the garage.
No.
And I'm not. Why are you living in the garage? How come you're living here? This is where I park my car. This is where we have all the tools. Are you going to be disturbed every time the kids go in and get their sleds?
Right.
When you're trying to have makeout time with your gal pal and the kids go in to go.
Sorry, Dad, I'm looking for the basketball.
Bikes?
Yeah.
Oh, you're jerking? Yeah, I was just trying to get the soccer ball and the hockey nets. Oh, excuse me, ma'am.
I needed the wreath to put around.
What the hell? So this bitch Jerry Lee lives in the garage, and he's a carpenter. He should be making decent money.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs a carpenter.
Yeah.
And then we see the real Jerry Lee Bowen, and he's clearly in prison because he's clearly wearing his prison garb with his prison number clearly in the front.
Right.
So this is what he says.
So it wasn't like a Dateline.
No.
Where Dateline tries to fake us out sometimes.
Because they put them in like a shitty
them in
suit
a nice
or whatever.
shirt over their orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
But they didn't even try.
They didn't try. He says, you maintain hope. The lady and I were divorced, and even though I didn't want to live with her anymore, she was the mother of my 2 children. I didn't wish her any harm in any way. Look, I guess you did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you didn't move out. You lived in the garage. Lord. Anyway, so investigators are like, well, number one, we're going to search you first because chances are you did it. So investigators go to his garage, and they don't find anything. And they kind of span out from the garage, and in an abandoned kind of this dirt road. I don't know how far away it was, but they find her car just kind of abandoned on this dirt road, kind of hidden in weird like corn or something, wasn't it? Or high grass. I don't know.
When you live in
in
the country, there's a lot of like field approaches and stuff with bushes.
So it was kind of in the woods, but her car was just there abandoned.
Yeah.
The police look in it. They don't find her body or find anything in it, but same night, they ask Jerry Lee to come to the police office, and he says, "Fine, yeah." And they show real police video, and Jerry Lee says, am I here because you think I'd done away with Brenda? Done away.
He seemed
I'd done away.
Simpler man, but he wasn't.
No, he wasn't simple.
Like he was
seemed
such
like
a
it.
narcissist, but an unassuming narcissist.
Yes.
You wouldn't catch on to it.
No.
By listening to him.
I'd done away. If you really do, I don't know, care about someone, you don't refer to their death as I'd done away. But the officer just says, "Did you kill Brenda?" He goes, "No." And they go, "Okay, sir. Yeah, you can go.
You're free to go."
All right. But they release him. They really don't have anything on him. Weeks and weeks go by. No Brenda anywhere. And everyone is just like, clearly she would, obviously she's not leaving her kids.
No.
She would contact us. She,
Were her
you
kids
know,
still little, or
I don't know. That's
They
the
never-
question.
the
They
kids
didn't
were
say a
like-
word about them.
non? I mean, maybe that's just for their benefit,
Yeah.
right? They didn't want to.
But I didn't know. I feel like they kind of were.
Maybe they were already old enough because he. Did they say he was like taking care of them?
No,
Did
they
he
said
come out of the
nothing.
garage?
I don't
to-
know.
Okay.
So then we get to March 29th, 1997. So from January to March, no Brenda, or the end of January. These two men fishing find a body. Now, in the reenactment, first off, the two fisherman actors, one has a big-ass gold chain like Mr. T. And his vest has bloodstains on it. There were bloodstains on it. And I thought, this is unnecessary.
I was so shocked by his gold chain on
Yeah.
a fishing expedition that I couldn't get past it. I was like,
No.
now what? They didn't even try to make him look like,
No.
even just wear a t-shirt. His
I-
shirt was unbuttoned down to his gut. You could see his
So
just
he's being like some
chest
sort
hair
of
everywhere. Yeah.
Magnum PI, Mr. T.
Yes.
Oh my! The bloody vest. I didn't get it. So these two dicks find a huge, and then in the reenactment, it is a big, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in the black bag.
Yeah.
It is enormous black bag that's clearly a body.
Yes.
I mean, it's wrapped up, and then there's 4,700 chains. Like when in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when Pee-wee chains up his bike and he uses like 2 miles of bike chain, that's around the body in the reenactment with rope. And they said there was rope, and there was also, I don't know, duct tape, some other wrappings. I mean, Christmas wrap.
Yep.
I don't know. Tampons tied together, everything. But still, obviously, because it was like garbage bags, it floated to the top, and the thing's just floating.
Yeah, the chains didn't work.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
So these two men find this. I mean, it's this huge black bag.
Yeah.
And thankfully, she wasn't puss up. Like,
No,
remember that one
like
lady
the
was
one
puss
who was
up. Yeah.
Floating
Yes.
in the river.
Puss up. Her legs were straight up and her puss was out. So this was 16 miles. This bag is found from the Bowen house. The two fishermen drag this black bag out that's wrapped up in 2,000 bike chains. And then in the reenactment, the forensic team arrives, which is just a stripper
Yeah.
in all sexy black gear. No suit, forensic suit, or any kind of
no
protection.
badge, no
yeah.
identification.
And she doesn't even unwrap the body, but does all of her studyings and finds out how the person died and who it is without even unwrapping the body or undoing the chain.
She could just feel it.
She was Clark Kent or Clarkina Kent and could see through the bag.
Yeah.
So she bends down with her bosoms and stands up and determines, I cannot pinpoint the cause of death. Mainly, one, again, she did not open the bag. But two, I guess this body had been in the water a very long time and had deteriorated,
Yeah, like
which
for
is very
months
gross.
and months and months, right?
Yes. So they couldn't really tell shit about it at all. But so the homicide, though, finds out that it is Brenda through other means. And so they think, all right, now it's homicide. We are going to contact everyone she knew, her neighbors or friends, blah, 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 and go to Jerry Lee and really try to hound him. And a year goes by and they collect all this information. They go to a grand jury and they get an arrest warrant. The grand jury is like, yeah, the dick probably did it, but they really don't get any evidence at all. None.
No.
It's just he lived in the garage and he probably did it. That's kind of the evidence.
They literally didn't have, because they don't know how she died.
No, they know
don't
nothing.
Know if she was shot, strangled, whatever. They didn't have a gun match. They
Nothing.
literally had nothing.
There was no evidence.
No.
So then they are going to go arrest him, and they learn that Jerry Lee is a gun expert and he has a shit ton of guns. So the sheriff gets the entire army comes and the SWAT team and it surrounds his home. And then they cut the phone lines. Was he going to call the police? Was he going to call Sally Jesse Raphael?
I don't know.
What was he going to call?
I'm
Ghostbusters?
Not sure.
I don't understand why they cut his phone lines. So then they're outside. I mean, maybe there's a reason that I don't understand. That makes sense.
They probably found a wire snip someplace on set, and they were like, let's use these in a scene.
So the sheriff has a bullhorn and starts saying, "Come on out, Jerry Lee, or we're going to come on in." And Jerry Lee doesn't answer.
No.
"Come on out, Jerry Lee, we're come on in." And he says it like 3 times, and they burst in, and there's the SWAT team goes in, and they're all pointing their guns at each other because it's a bad reenactment SWAT team.
And they went, "Clear."
Yeah. Yep. And then
Clear.
Point a gun at a bulge.
Yeah.
Clear. There's no Jerry Lee.
No.
Now, Jerry Lee, the real Jerry Lee, says, "I did run off. I was tipped off that the police were going to come arrest me, and so I did run off.
Yep.
What I did here now is that they did not have any evidence, so they were going to come to my house, and they were going to kill me." And so he said, "So I ran off."
He said he got a hot tip from someone.
So he spends 2 days laying low in a cheap-ass hotel. Jerkin. I don't know.
Yep.
And then he's like, I don't know. What are you going to do? He calls his attorney and then turns himself in anyway.
I know. That was weird.
And then the next day, he makes bail and is just out on bail, and he goes back to work.
Yeah.
And so he's just going to work, living in his garage, going shopping. And so they show him going shopping with Brenda's friends looking at him in the shopping.
Yeah.
And he was going to like shake Brenda's friend's hand, and she looks at him like, "Bitch, I'm not shaking your hand."
Right. I know what you did.
So he's out, around on bail. His trial starts April 17th, 2000. Again, there's zero evidence against him. They have kind of circumstantial evidence as one, he wasn't at home at the time of the crime. That's one evidence. Okay. 2, the body was tied in 17,000 chains and knots, and the knots were complicated. And Jerry Lee knew how to tie complicated knots. That was the second evidence against him. And then 3, in the first police interview, he referred to Brenda in the past tense. They used that as the third piece of evidence.
Okay.
So that's what they have against him. The reenactment trial, the audience, I think they went to a World's Homeliest Individual contest and just took the whole contest.
Maybe.
And put him into the trial room. Anyway, the jury was out for 3 days. But they come back guilty.
I can't believe that they did.
Yeah. I mean, there really is nothing on this guy.
No.
I mean, he kind of looks weird and he looks creepy as shit.
I had a hard time.
And that maybe worked against him. But then he's released on bail. I was confused. He is just pronounced guilty of murder, but he gets out on bail? Does that happen? So you are a murderer free to just walk the town.
I've
never, I feel like you usually go to jail after you're guilty.
Usually you do.
And then you don't get a bail. Because most of the time
Didn't they talk about it?
I don't understand it, because if I was guilty and I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail and I got out on bail, I would go to Brazil.
They gave him, there was a bond for him because he had never been violent before or something.
He just got guilty of murder.
I know,
what are they thinking?
I remember that Chris Curry said something about it.
But come on.
Yeah.
Hey, you just got accused of killing your wife.
Yeah.
So we're just going to let you out in a little bit of bail until you're sentencing that might be, 5-10 years from now. So you're just free for all that time. I mean, I would take all my stuff and hightail it out of there.
Right.
I don't know.
I know. I didn't get it
So
either.
the whole time he's out on bail until his sentencing in June. So April, May, June. He's just being normal, like doing work things and totally acting normal every single day. The police say they are keeping an eye on him, which means I don't think they paid attention to him at all, because the way he said it was kind of iffy. So the sentencing hearing, they're sitting there just, waiting at the table, checking their watches, waiting for Jerry Lee to show up. And a minute goes by, 2 minutes go by, and they're checking their watches. 5 minutes go by, and the judge goes, "Hey, does anyone know where that Jerry Lee Bowen is? This is his sentencing trial." And his attorney says, "No." Sir, he is not in attendance.
No.
And then the judge says, "He's gone? Where?" And the attorney goes, "I don't know. I don't know, bitch."
And the whole courtroom cleared and ran to Jerry Lee's house.
Yes. So the deputies go, they search his home. He leaves a note and he says, "Suck it, dicks." And then he drew a picture of a dick. And then he had a Polaroid of him jerking it.
No. Oh, no.
That's exactly. He put it on the fridge. A big Polaroid of him.
What?
Doing a big X on his crotch. Suck it, dicks. No,
what really was the note?
The note just said...
How come I don't remember this?
The note just said, "I ran because I didn't do it, and so I don't want to be in jail." And then it was to his kids, like, "I love you," to my kids. "I'm sorry that I'm not going to be there with you."
Of the kids.
And then the real Jerry Lee says that whole 2 months I was out, he's totally every day spending time researching how to go on the lam.
Get away. Yeah.
Yeah. How to change his
or
identity.
How to live undercover.
Yeah. And have a new life.
Mm-hmm.
So then he has to buy a new car, he says, because his car is recognized. So he says he puts on this disguise. And so the actor Jerry Lee has a fedora, has just glasses on, a cane, and the real Jerry Lee says, "I put on real subdued clothing." So I thought, what was he wearing before? Like fluorescent vagina shirts? Tutus? What do you mean subdued clothing? And he just walks with a cane and has glasses, and that makes you look different?
Flamboyant around town.
So he buys his car, no one notices, and sells his car, no one notices.
No one said a thing.
Packs all his shit, leaves at night, drives away, no one notices. That's what I said. His kids are alone? I wrote, kids are alone?
Yeah.
Who's watching his kids? I don't know how old they are.
Are they big? I can't find.
I know.
Searching right now, but
because he doesn't seem very old now.
No.
And this is,
right,
24 years ago.
She was 44. So when we were 44, I had very small children still.
So it depends on, unless they had him at 20 or whatever. I don't know.
Schooler and
Anyway, we learned that now he's a fugitive. The sheriff's going to get serious. He's going to bring in an FBI agent, but this FBI agent is, I think, currently an undercover FBI agent. So his face is blurred, but he still has his regular voice, which is just pure shit. And
why
his voice
did they blur his face?
Well, he's undercover currently now. Then why go on a show?
Oh, that's
and then his voice was very nerdy and very unique. You would know this voice if you heard it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Don't go on a show if you're undercover. Anyway, the actor playing this FBI agent, did you see this clown wig hair? This Afro clown wig hair he wore? Or was it his real hair? It was like a huge black, I don't know, but it was absolutely out of control.
I need to see if I can watch it on my computer and take pictures of these ridiculous things.
Unbelievable. Okay. And he looked like he maybe, I don't know, but had like one of those iron spikes from the railroad go through his forehead. So Jerry Lee said he knew how to change his ID. Or they looked up Jerry Lee's computer. He learned how to change his ID on his computer, and all this stuff to change his identity they found on his computer, but then they said they found gross ass porn. Like super bad porn.
And it was so bad that the male detectives couldn't even talk about it. They were like, it just lets you know the insight.
That he was a super perv.
Yeah, into the real person.
I'm like, then, yeah. It's like, holy shit. All right. So the FBI is alerting border officials, Canada, Mexico. This dick is he might leave. But what Jerry Lee does is he just goes to Reno. Because he knows those sheriffs are incompetent, according to Reno 911.
He's been watching Reno 911.
Bowen's plan.
He's going to get on his roller skates.
Yes. Yes. He is like Terry. And hook it. And that's the life. Bowen's plan is genius. I mean, just absolutely this is what you do with your life. Mm-hmm. This is being a great citizen of the world. He's going to befriend a homeless man by giving him tons of liquor and stealing the homeless man's ID and social security card and then becoming the homeless man.
Yes.
Like stealing the homeless man's identity. So you're going to find someone unhoused alcoholic addict, fake befriend them and steal from them and steal their identity.
Not only that, but you have to make sure they're as tall as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar again, because Jerry was tall. So he was very concerned that the unhoused person that he kind of honed in on.
He stared at them all very seductively to make sure they looked like him.
He was like a predator. Yes. He was a complete predator.
So he searched every man, making sure he looked like him in weight and face and height, until he found the perfect man. And his name was Richard Bassett. Mm-hmm. And this man slept next to the Truckee River. He then talked to Richard Bassett and dated him for a while. I don't know. Found out he had no family. He didn't ever work. And he fit his criteria perfectly. So he would bring him booze after booze after booze until Richard would pass out. And then he finally steals his driver's license and his social security card. I'm surprised they had them both in his wallet.
I know, right?
He takes this new identity. He hits the road and he goes to Salt Lake City.
Oh, yeah. Party town.
So now he gets he goes to the license bureau to get a new real license as Richard Bassett.
And this is it. This is if he gets away with this, he feels like he's going to be home free.
I have to bring 17. I feel like we could never get away with that. I don't know. So he brings in.
Well, you need a birth certificate
I know,
usually. But,
he just memorizes Richard Bassett's birthday, which we'll see, and then has his social security card and goes in. And he said he was super anxious. There's police everywhere. He was shitting his pants. He gets called up, he fills out everything, but the dumb bitch puts his own birthday down instead of Richard's birthday. So when he goes to get his picture taken, the lady says, "Sir, there's an issue here." And Richard comes back and says, and he makes some excuse, it's my son's birthday I put down.
Oh, I was just thinking about him.
Yeah. And the lady goes, "Oh, okay, whatever," and fixes it, and he gets his ID. So then he becomes a contractor again.
Does some drywalling.
Yeah, gets a job in a house. So then the dumb bitch thinks, I got to kill off Jerry Lee forever. So what makes total sense? I'm going to burn off my fingerprints with sulfuric acid, as one does. So the bitch buys sulfuric acid, real sulfuric acid it says sulfuric acid in a jar labeled nicely in the reenactment.
Right.
And he takes the big ass jar of sulfuric acid. Where do you buy that?
I don't know. And
he puts it down on his dining room table and he puts some sulfuric acid in the lid and he sticks his whole finger in it.
And
then he goes, ow. Ew.
It's literally
boiling and burning his finger off.
And he just made himself do it.
And so the real Richard is
fucking times.
And then he's just drinking beer to numb the pain. I'm beer's not going to cut it.
Try something a little harder.
Yes.
Well, what I can't figure out is he's lived as Richard Bassett for several years. It wasn't just like a couple days, and then he was like, I'll get rid of my fingerprints. Like,
well, he lived as no, it was kind of right away because he had to have another.
Was?
Yeah,
I thought he lived as him for quite a few years.
No, because he took several months. It took months and months and months because he only did one finger at a time. Because the finger would be,
and then he'd have
fucked.
to heal.
Yeah, and then he couldn't work.
Okay.
So, but then the bitch does his ring finger, and he just keeps it in way too long, and sticks it. He's sticking his whole finger in the acid.
Yeah.
And then it literally kills his finger, and he has a big black finger, like it died, like the tip died. So then he has to go to the doctor because he has a big dead flesh finger.
Right.
And so, and all these burned off fingerprints and no medical record, whatever. So he goes to the doctor, and he's like, I was so worried the doctor was going to see my other burnt off fingerprints. The doctor doesn't even look at his hand. He just looks at the big dead ass finger that's all a black marker painted.
Yeah, so they show the actor holding out the dead black finger and then curling all of his other fingers over, so that, like, keeping them in a fist and just holding those so that he couldn't see all the other fingers. But I'm probably going to go to prison now, but sulfuric acid is made in fertilizer production.
Oh, Jesus.
And metal processing.
Cripes.
It plays a crucial role in manufacturing.
Good God.
Other chemicals, textiles,
probably
and
just took it from work.
explosives. Oh, and it's a key ingredient in storage batteries, everyone. I'm not sure where you can get it, but it's very harmful to humans.
I would say.
It's highly corrosive and can be fatal if inhaled or ingested. Oh, God.
So, God, this idiot. So the doctor just right there chops off the tip of his finger, and he shows it. He has this gross-ass finger. He says, I saved the top joint just a bit. I'm like, oh, my God. You dumb ass stuck your finger in sulfuric acid and killed off the tip of your finger, you dummy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he does live in Salt Lake City for 2 years, but he starts getting nervous. And he has to go check on Richard Bassett to make sure he's still alive. So he drives back to Reno, starts hitting it up with the men, these unhoused men.
Again, yeah, he goes
asking, where's my boyfriend Richard Bassett?
Down
and they
to
said,
the river.
he died. So now he can't use Richard Bassett anymore because that social security card or number would be for a dead man.
Yeah.
So now he's like, fuck. So what he does is he goes to the soup line and starts flirting with the men in the soup line. And so he meets this man named Steven Starbuck, gives him $1. Mm-hmm. Steven says, oh, you're the first person that's helped me as I've been here. Starts talking to him, notices he's the same age, same height, starts bringing him booze, gets him drunk, steals his social security card. And then Jerry Lee just says, you know what? I'm going to go to Charleston this time. South Carolina. I'm going to go back to the South. And in some tiny-ass town, he easily gets a new ID, and he becomes Steven Starbuck.
Yes.
So we get to the summer of 2004. He's porking a new gal. He's working construction.
Yeah, he's got a new woman.
Yeah. Although he has a tiny incident where he is going too fast. He gets pulled over. He freaks out, shits his pants, but he only gets a warning. So,
and they ran his ID too, and
it was clear.
It came back fine.
Yeah.
So Starbuck was still alive.
And then Jerry Lee realizes he's getting homesick for his town and then his kids that he's been away from years and years. So what he does is he goes back to his town. It just drives through it.
What in the hell, Jerry Lee?
Yeah, no.
Not that I wanted him to get away, but
if you're trying to stay away,
he's
whatever.
trying to get caught now.
So then the police are like, fuck this guy. We're going to go to America's Most Wanted. And they put his whole story on there. And I still cannot believe fuckers watched it and find so many people on that, because I have no ability to see a face and then remember a face and be like in a restaurant and go, that's the fucker that was on America's Most Wanted. There's no way I could do that.
That's how they got John List.
I know.
That's how they got Whaley Pox.
Yeah, Whaley Corn Pox. I mean, and so now a woman is watching it, and I never watched, and maybe I could have found some horrible man. A woman is watching in Charleston, and she goes, "Holy fucking shit, Bob! Look, it's Steve!" And this Steve, Jerry Lee, was dating her sister. The lady who's porking was this lady's sister. So she goes, "Steve is this guy." So the lady's husband calls 911 and says, "I believe that my sister-in-law is dating a fugitive." And the police are like, "Oh, fine, fuck, okay." So that night, they drive over to Jerry Lee's home, and it's like 11 p.m. They knock at the door, and Jerry Lee answers it, and they say, "Are you who you say you are?" And Jerry Lee says, "Huh?" And they say, "We need to decide if you are who you say you are. Please get dressed." And Jerry Lee then says, "Give me a minute," and then closes the door and goes into his room. Police officers, this man is a possible fugitive.
No.
You follow him into the home.
You don't let him have a minute.
First off, he could just go out the back and run into his car and take off. Second, he could come at you with a huge ass Uzi or something and mow you down and shoot you in the dick.
Because they knew that he had guns and tons of guns.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So what he does is Jerry Lee goes to his bedroom where he has two loaded guns, and he picks it up and he thinks, "Am I going to go shoot these cops in the head?" Which he could have done. What the hell are you doing? And then he decides, you know what? I think I'm done running. And he puts the guns back and gets dressed. So then he goes into the police station, and they're like, "Are you this guy, Jerry Lee Bowen?" And he says, "Absolutely not. That is not me." And they say, "It looks just like you." And he says, "That's not me at all. That doesn't look like me at all." They say, "But it really does look like you." And he says, "Nope." And they say, "We're going to take your fingerprints." And then they do a roll fingerprint. And Jerry Lee goes, "Oh, shit. I only really burned off kind of on the pad. I didn't do the roll on the sides." And so he says, "Fuck it. It's me. I'm Jerry Lee." And they're like, "Okay. Yeah." And so they called the sheriff.
They called Chris.
And Chris doesn't even believe it.
No.
He says, "Nah, ask him how many children he got." And the Jerry Lee says too, "Ask him to spell their names."
What's their name?
And so then he spells the names right. And the sheriff goes, "That's it. Grab him."
Because one of the
I think
girls,
it was like Gina with a J or something.
yeah, it was like she had a name that should have been spelled with a G, but it was a J.
Yeah. Oh shit. So then I guess he just gets brought back. He's in Huntsville, Alabama. I've been to Huntsville prison, and he has life in prison where he's not going to get out. And I mean, that's for no evidence. That's a harsh sentence.
No. This is crazy. So this is what I just found this on, I don't know, this website. I'm sure it's very, very reputable. It's called Tex Eggs, like Texas Aggies. So I don't know why it's on here, but this is supposed to be like a recap of the America's Most Wanted.
Okay.
And it says Jerry and Brenda Bowen were married 19 years, had 2 children. Jerry had an affair, and the 2 divorced. Brenda got the house, and Jerry had an efficiency apartment in the garage.
Yeah, it's called
100 feet from the main house. 2 years after they divorced, Brenda turned up missing. So this is what they say. Okay. He became the main suspect because the killer wrapped Brenda's body in bed sheets that were from the house. They matched other sheets that were in the house.
Okay.
And her body was bound by rope and a series of bowline and slip knots that were known favorite knots of Jerry's. Do you have favorite knots?
I don't have favorite knots. Did he post them to Facebook or?
I don't like. I'm making this knot today. This one's my favorite. And then, according to Brenda's father, Jerry was in financial trouble. Brenda had told her parents that Jerry had recently come over and said, B, I'm in trouble. We got to get back together. Brenda told Jerry she would have to think about it. Jerry then allegedly threatened to take Brenda back to court, and Brenda told her father, quote, I've never seen hate like that in anyone's eyes. 29 witnesses testified against him, but it was all circumstantial. When they found the stuff that they found on the internet, that Chris was like, it was very they were like shocked by what
the porn
was on the internet. He had visited 5,000 websites dedicated to violence toward women, hardcore pornography, and cannibalism.
Gross. What the hell? Did he want? Why didn't he just eat his fingertips? Did he eat the fingertip tip that the doctor took off?
No. That's just what apparently that was what we were missing. But I don't know why it's on the Texas Eggs webpage. Maybe it would be on America's Most Wanted. I don't know. But yeah, he just, if you watch this episode, because he plays a predominantly, he's like
he's the one doing it. He looks like totally this normal guy and
he's just nonchalant about everything, like telling, well, I targeted this person, I hunted him down, I was looking, like talking about literally harming other people as if it's no big deal. And just kind of affable personality.
Yes.
Like, oh, here I am. Yeah,
I mean, he definitely something isn't right upstairs. No, and his decision making is not there. And that's a normal person.
And he's like, oh, I guess I'll just go to jail now.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it really is differently in a different path than some of us.
He sure
mentally
is. So he's still there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just maybe the cannibalism scared them a little bit. Let's put him in here and just keep him here. He seems happy here. Let's keep him here.
He decided to go. Eventually, but all right. We also have a book club this month. We're reading His and Hers. And we discuss it on Zoom, which again, you can find the Zoom link on our It's Always the Husband podcast group page. So join that if you want to read it. We always meet the last Tuesday of the month, which in this month is April 29th. And we will meet at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And then next month for May, we're reading The Space Between Them by Lindsay Campbell. So if you want to put that on your
I have to do that
library list, you can do that today. Now, I was just going through my podcasts, like looking at what was in my library, like the ones that I subscribe to, and the Forensic Files one that came up was The Disappearance of Hella Crafts.
I know that one's now.
And I was
our
like,
second one.
Was that what was our first one? Was that
Mick
our first
the Dick?
one?
No, that was our second
Mick?
one.
Okay.
Where he
it made me think back to the days of Hella Crafts.
Yeah.
What the hella?
Yeah.
So again, thanks for listening. Share us, tell your friends, give us a rating, review, join our Patreon. Hopefully we'll be back in the swing of things soon. We've had
diarrhea,
just like one thing after another. Vacation, sickness. I can't take it.
I know. God, what are you gonna do?
We need summer. All right, thanks. Bye.